and Saul. Thank you for joining us today. Today, a special guest with the Writers Colony at Dairy Hollow. I have Nancy and Charles Templeton. So you guys are going to want to see this. But before that, a little word from our sponsor. Thank y'all for joining me today. This is a special day. I always love to be able to reach out to my nonprofits here in Eureka Springs, the Writers Colony at Dairy Hollow, one of my favorites. Let's get them onto the screen with us to talk with them today. Nancy and Charles, hello.
Hey.
Thanks for coming today and joining us. Charles, you're a new face on the block here, aren't you? You're new to town,
Charles is going to be our feature at the Poet Luck.
I was just saying he's new to town, right, Nancy?
Oh, God, no. How long have you been in town? 20, 15 years?
20 years.
20 years, yeah.
20 years. Well, we have something special, Nancy, that I know you wanted to fill the community in on. One of those favorite things that happens at the Writers Colony. It's sort of the tradition at the Writers Colony. Tell us about the Poet Luck, would you?
Well, the Poet Luck is a community gathering for writers of all types here in Eureka. What we do is we call it Poet Luck because it's a potluck, and we have poets, and we also have other readers. It starts every third Thursday at 6 o'clock, and we have a potluck dinner where the whole community is invited. We usually have great food. Our chef Yana makes something for every meal. And every week we feature a local or a national writer to be our featured speaker. We have Charles Templeton this time. And it's really a great tradition. It's been going on for about 20 years. Crescent Dragon Wagon started it at the very beginning. And we encourage all writers. We have poets, we have prose writers, we have nonfiction writers, we have songwriters. Everybody gets 5 minutes, and sometimes it goes on for an hour, hour and a half. It's a wonderful time, and it gives us a great sense of the creative community that we live in.
Well, Charles, you're featured on the first one, and I guess in March. Is that right,
Yeah,
Nancy?
March 20th.
March 20th. So,
20th.
Charles, what's it like? Have you been a part of the Poet Luck before, Charles?
Oh, yes. Yes. I was on the board here at the Writers Colony for like 10 years. So
yeah,
I'm very familiar with the Poet Luck.
And Charles tell them about your book. Charles is also a writer.
Yep. In 2020, I published a book called Boot, sort of story of Vietnam.
yes.
And it's more of a love story than anything else, but it's kind of a fictionalized memoir of my time in Vietnam. But
Some truth, some not so much true. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Let's just say it's all a bit exaggerated.
Okay. All right.
Which I guess that's my talent is exaggeration.
And is that something that you'll be talking about at this particular Poet Luck, or are you working on
no,
something else?
I may read a chapter out of the book, but each chapter is so special, it's really hard to choose.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That was a joke. But no, I plan on reading a poem I did recently that was nominated for a Pushcart Prize by Flapper Magazine.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's called Shootout at the Clark County ASPCA.
I love it.
And I wrote it during the time when the Haitians were being accused of eating people's pets.
Oh, that stirred you there. Yeah.
And so this was kind of my response.
That's great.
As only you can do, Charles. As only you can do.
Charles is also the editor of Emerge Magazine, which is a collaborative project with the Writers Colony at Dairy Hollow, and they are also the sponsor. They are our Wordsmith sponsor for this Poet Luck. And we're looking for sponsors for each Poet Luck, just to help the community. It's a very low fee to sponsor it, and $100 a Poet Luck, and this helps make the place for the community to gather and read their work. And we're encouraging locals to donate if they can, and if not, show up anyway, because like I say, Poet Luck is just so much fun. It's sometimes it's so hard to get people to stop talking and sit down and listen to the readings because they're having too much fun sharing plates and recipes and just meeting each other.
Absolutely.
And we also, the residents who stay here at the colony, because the Writers Colony has 8 suites where people come to be in retreat and write. And so those writers will come and read as well, which gives you a little bit more of a national taste of what's going on here. It's really is just such a great event.
And see, these are, you have these every month. And so, Charles, you'll be there on the 20th of March. And then you got a couple of other people that are, you want to talk just briefly
Tracy
about the April and May
will be on the 17th. And Tracy is the Poet Laureate of Kansas. And she stays here at the Writers Colony on a regular basis. We're really glad to have her here. She's a wonderful poet. She her poems touch on nature, on society, she's all encompassing and a great writer. We're really looking forward to having her.
Yes.
And then on May 15th, we have one of our good friends, Bill McLeod, coming back. And Bill is a professor of poetry in Oklahoma. He has written numerous books. He has a wonderful sense of humor, and it's just a pleasure to always have Bill come in residence. We don't have anyone for our June Poet Luck yet, but in July, we have Doug Riverman Allen is going to come and read from his book on the Kings River.
Oh, really?
And we love Doug, and we're really glad to welcome into our group of writers.
I love it. You have such a variety of people that come there. You never know what to really expect. And people coming and reading those fresh works and bouncing it back into the audience. It's a really immersive experience.
It's amazing.
Really
and sometimes people will read for the first time and they just bowl everyone over. We had that with Cricket, who's the wife of one of our board members, who read on our last one in the fall, and her poem was so powerful and so real.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to see people step up and show their creative self. And we really encourage people to come out and do that. And it's great fun when we have songwriters too. We usually, pull out a guitar and sing us a song, and you just never know what you're going to get. We have people reading yoga manuals. We have people reading parts from their novels. Yeah. It's just a great experience.
So Charles, what's it?
I want to say that Nancy has been a featured poet in Emerge magazine also.
Yes,
and she's quite a poet, so you need to hear her read also.
He made me my first published poet other than self-publishing when we did Ledges years ago. So they need to be a published poet. That was really nice.
So cool. Charles, what's it like, Charles, to be, there in front of an audience, and reading something that you've poured your heart and soul into? What's it like to sit there and read to the audience for maybe the first time?
I'm going to say that it's going to be a different experience for each person, but the feedback you get from a live audience can be very motivating. It can be very energizing. The audience will let you know right away, do I need to shut up or should I keep going with this?
Right.
But the folks that attend a poetry reading are here for different reasons, and then you're going to glean something from whatever is read. And it may be you get a laugh. It may be that you're moved to look at something in a whole different light than you've seen it before. Mm-hmm. Or it may be something totally new that you get out of it.
Yeah.
So, the audience, it's real important.
I would say it would be a pivotal thing to do as a writer, to have this experience, to know, am I on track? And do I need to shift a little bit in my thinking? What a great thing.
It also encourages people to write about things they may not have written about before. Because the bravery of some people speaking about their life makes other people be brave to pull those parts of themselves out and put them on paper. And I've had people say that because of the Poet Luck, they've written something new, or they've gone in a new direction with their writing, which is just, to me, that's transforming. It really can be, to see someone get up there and really bare their soul. And there's been tears at these things. There's laughter. There is just support and camaraderie too. That's the other thing. Someone will read something that's so from deep in their soul, and afterwards the people will come up and share experiences with them, and it's very catharsis. Yes.
Yeah. And there's something for everyone. Now, no matter where you are in this path, in this journey to become a writer, or if you just appreciate reading and diving into other people's works. I love the Poet Luck. I think it's a fantastic. It's no wonder that it's lasted so long at the Writers Colony. I think it's one of your biggest welcome mats there at the Colony. It's a really fantastic.
Crescent Dragonwagon usually shows up to she's our board member emeritus, and she usually shows up for almost every Poet Luck, which is great because she brings food. As we know, she's one of the
right.
Nana, we know there's going to be good food, and there always is good food here. So that's one of the good parts too, is just the potluck meal, because the sharing of food is just such a community thing.
Yeah, the food is just as much legendary as the readings. So Poet Luck sponsorships are still available if you're interested. There's a QR code there. I guess people can zoom in on that with their camera on their phone and check out that QR code.
Or go to writerscolony.org.
Or go to the writerscolony.org.
Or just call us here at the Writers Colony for 479-253-7444. And we can hook you up with that. And if you'd like to be a featured reader, reach out as well, because we're always looking for featured readers. We have a few months open this year still. I know we're planning in October to have a student Poet Luck, and we have July, but we have June and August open and September as well. So we're looking for readers who would like to be featured as well.
Nancy, you're doing a fantastic job getting the word out about what's happening there. We appreciate you coming today to talk about things that are happening there at the Writers Colony. Thank you, Charles, for continuing to be an inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much. Guys, thanks for joining me. We'll see you guys again next time, when we can check in on maybe some breaking news from the Writers Colony.
We have a lot of stuff going on this year.
I know.
We really want to share it with everyone.
We'll get back together when those things become timely, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.